Welcome, good people of the internet. Today I'm going to show you how to draw mushrooms on an oscilloscope with sound. We're gonna use our left audio channel for horizontal deflection, and our right audio channel for vertical deflection. Now first we need a sine wave on our horizontal deflection channel, and a cosine wave on our vertical deflection channel.
You know, get yourself a fez. Fezzes are cool, yo.
You know what's really weird is that sometimes I do weird stuff where I say weird things in the past. This is the Voodoo Donut video where I call it Voodoo Donut Eugene, and it was streamed October 21st, 2018, right on the same day that they were doing some other stuff with Senor Q. Anyways, let's take a look.
Problems.
Oh look, Antifa. What's up with that?
I know, dude, don't worry. Bushes and everybody's are going down. Don't worry. Your boy DeFango's on the case. Cicada 3301. Everybody says that they recruited me, and I've been recruited. Why do you guys fucking think I went to New York? Why the fuck do you think I'm out here right now? Why do you think I'm doing any of this stuff?
Why the fuck do you think I'm doing this? Why the fuck do you think I'm doing that? Ooh.
I told you. I got recruited.
Damn, that hoodie's fresh.
And now I'm doing what I need to do. Because we're going to take down this deep state. And if it includes taking down all these other people on the way, well, we're just going to do it just because.
Just because.
Because the time is now. And I said no more. And boy, oh boy, did I meet it. But, you know, I feel like even... It was like everybody's going to get a chance to make it right. But you only get one chance. So, I'll see you guys soon. Adios. Bye.
Damn. DeFango. How ominous. That's so ominous, DeFango. Why is that so ominous? DeFango? What's going on? Well, like I said before, I said I wanted to see it no more. No more. No more. And I am the war doctor, you know.
So fancy. That's pretty interesting.
It's like these guys that you've been putting out information. How what's coming along? What's coming next?
Yeah, so this is a bigger operation than people realize. This was started even before August of 2017. was started back in early 2017, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I talked about with Jack. And there's a lot of chat logs that are coming from Telegram, WhatsApp, and Discord that'll be exposed. And I've talked to the related parties, and they're okay with that. So we've been working on this for a while and been incorporating into some different materials, and that will be exposed. The next chats that are going to be dropped are happening tomorrow, and that will be an extension to the chat logs that have already been dropped, and that'll show when QAnon was passed off to troll servers on Discord after the initial few posts, and
Gotcha.
that'll then eventually show. There's a lot to this, but that should give people an idea of how Q went from being the God bless Christian positive character that would just ask a few questions to this weird crypto puzzle thing of complete stupidity that is dangerous, that I feel, and is completely ridiculous, right?
Oh yeah, it is ridiculous.
So I pulled in. This gets complicated, but I pulled in a lot of people from Martin Shkreli's Coder Discord that I was a part of back then. Brought them in and brought in some major trolls, and there's a lot of big names there that'll come out. And then we configured the next phase of QAnon. However, because of the potential and danger that was involved, in the sense of these guys wanting to represent themselves as a government official with Q clearance, that's why we bailed. And there was a couple other reasons too. It just is not something that it ended up turning into something that was more of a broad troll rather than something that was for unity. And that was really the goal, was to try to find something that would get Trump supporters thinking about the next moves. And because everybody was really stressed out with the investigations and how the media was treating Trump, we thought it would be a lot easier after he was elected. So
yeah, no, it was a lot easier after he was elected. I mean, it wasn't that hard to get. You know, it's not hard to get that kind of materials if you have the right proximity.
That's right. So that's the thing is, and we'll have to talk a little bit and chat back and forth on how much you want to be involved with the synthesis of this whole thing.
I mean, I'm down to go full on in. I mean, you know I was pretty much, like in there in the beginning. I said what I needed to say, and I dipped out and let you guys do your thing because that was what's supposed to happen the whole time. I mean, like, but obviously this is the point in time where we got to be there. Obviously, unity's the thing. So, obviously, if you need me to do anything, or as this thing keeps on progressing, I'm gonna keep putting information out there because it's not like my ass is on the line on any of this stuff. I just kind of like, I said something back in December, and then, like, it's kind of unbelievable that most people are looking at me and saying, well, how could you possibly know this? And I'm like, well, it's not like rocket science,
Yeah, it's not. So we'll have we should have an offline conversation about that, depending on how much you want to be, because I haven't talked to you about your involvement. And like I said, there's so many people involved that it's taken a while to get everybody to agree to it because a lot of people's names are on the line, and I've had to. Some of the conversations, we've deleted whole sections of chat because there's too much personal information. A lot of us knew each other very well, and we just don't want that stuff out there. So
yeah, for sure.
That's why it's a slow drip, but also it's a slow drip because this QAnon thing, I do like to see him screw up because he's already done it twice, where he's run posts that don't make sense, and his whole purpose is to straw man and try to gaslight his followers into hating that we're exposing it. But he's shooting himself in the foot, and that's not expected because it's not a good troll. This is not that intelligent. People think this is something that's highly intelligent. It's not. It's simple cold reading with some cryptography and a few different programming tricks and things like that. With Photoshop, it's really fucking stupid what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing different than somebody making a puzzle. Basically, I mean, it's a puzzle, but it's like a step down from what would be considered to be difficult.
Puzzle. I mean, this is like not, and that's why people try to tie this to Cicada and some other long trolls that I think they are. This is nothing to do. This isn't like one of those tests that they used to put in the newspaper to say, if you can answer this puzzle, then somebody calls you from the NSA and you're, that used to happen in the past, right?
Yeah, this shit doesn't happen now.
Puzzle. This this is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's not even clever. Like it's not. It's really annoying to the point of these aren't cryptic puzzles. This is literally somebody just creating
Trolling.
breadcrumbs. Yeah, they're creating the fucking breadcrumbs as YouTuber groups. I swear to God. And they're taking those breadcrumbs and then they're passing it to bakers. And so they're baking their own shit. And so they magically seem like they're these geniuses, but they're not. They're literally just doing this whole fucking troll.
Yeah.
And
then they go juice up. They just go grab information that's either been out there, that it's been kind of sitting like not trending, so that they can bring that stuff up. And I mean, it's just kind of like over and over and over again. I mean, like the whole reason that I even interjected the cicada thing is because the whole reason when I brought up shit earlier is because I had remembered that the stupid thing, the Q thing, was in the puzzle, and I was just like, all right, that's going to be really interesting later on. Because, like, that was the other reason that I was trying to expose cicada thing, is because they're trying to make it seem like it's supposed to be really fucking cool and you're going to go somewhere with it. But ultimately, it's all a fucking LARP. It's all a lie. And, you're just wasting your time. And that's the whole point, that this was maybe supposed to be better. Because, I mean, if you're going to fucking troll, you might as well do it effectively and efficiently and make people actually, like, I don't know, believe it. And I think effectively, people believed it to a certain point, but now it's just like so far out of hand to the point where like people are selling their houses and shit. Like, this is weird.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's why. Every troll I did on with the Trump stuff was for unity and for the purpose of, like, you want to get people out to vote and see different issues, right? This has turned into a money-making scheme of complete stupidity. They're trying to take out Alex Jones. Alex Jones has done nothing wrong. There's no reason to take the guy out unless you're trying to replace him with your own shit. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to replace his brand of conspiracy-esque peddling. Even though I don't see Alex Jones as much of a conspiracy guy, he's just a pompous guy, and that's good. He's eccentric, and he uses buzzwords and titles that grab headlines, and that's fine because he has useful information. This QAnon stuff, sometimes it's useful, but the whole thing that somehow they're flying on Air Force One with Trump, that's all bullshit. They've taken images from Air Force One from Obama years and all over the place, and they've spliced them and they've flipped them and they've transformed them in Photoshop and then added stuff to it so that you can't Google image search them, because it's just not how Google AI and machine learning works on image search, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking image and then scan the 4 trillion images that are in the world and then say, oh, this isn't an image. Like, people don't understand that. It's scanning the fucking MD5 hash codes and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's the hash codes of file sizes.
Yeah. So it's just, these people are fucking morons. They don't understand anything about how the internet works or technology works. That these people are completely fucking retarded. Everyone that's in this QAnon thing, they are, I don't know how they're alive like that. And you already see that in Gab. Like, these people, I've never met somebody this fucking stupid in my whole life. Right?
Well, dude, they're all over the place. That's the thing. Is like, we forget that certain people don't spend as much time as we have on these systems. But like, when you sit there and you look at the Patriot soapbox, like, since the very beginning, their only goal that they've ever had was to basically become Alex Jones, or the Alex Jones channel, or the new InfoWar. And if you really look at it, it's like they jumped into bed with Corsi and shit like that. They were in bed with him in the beginning, and it wasn't until I even had brought up any information about Corsi's past that they even started trying to talk. Like, they even started cutting back and cutting bait with them. And now it seems to be super strange that they're starting to be like, oh, well, QAnon's actually after Corsi now, and they have all this new information. And I'm like, you guys, this isn't new information. This is stuff that's been out there forever. Just because you bring up a new, fucking pie that you had frozen in your freezer and you try to serve it to me as fresh doesn't mean that I'm going to fucking believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. And that's where this whole thing, I mean, I don't necessarily know why we decided, I don't have a rhyme or reason of why we decided to come out with it right now, but it's come to the point, in fact, it's come to the point where the dude that started a forest fire, that's not good, right? He was a QAnon type weird guy. And then you're saying if there's people selling their houses, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I've heard there's people selling their houses so they could, like, get into actually doing other shit. I heard somebody bought a house with the money that they made off of some applications and shit. Yeah, they're like, people are making money and people are spending money on this stuff. People are probably like, people are selling shirts. I mean, I feel like since I've been out there, there's probably been at least like, a mill that's made. And, like, some people would say they were jealous, but it's like, why the fuck would we care?
Like if a meal could be made on that, that means that tomorrow that we could do something different with a better opportunity that would actually be made to make money. But ultimately, that's just too much work for what? Like you're just gonna get a whole bunch of money and then that's a bunch of taxes and that's a bunch of other shit that you have to deal with, and then it defeats the whole fucking purpose of a troll.
Yeah, in fact, and that's what people claim on the start. They think that this is that somehow we didn't start QAnon because why would we pass it off if it was a money making scheme? It was never meant to be that, and even in the pass off and talking about it, it was just a simple troll. If you look at the first couple QAnon posts, they're pretty fucking simple. Like it's just asking questions about current events. Like at that time when we posted the first one back in October 28th, the first one was the Hillary Clinton will be arrested. That was a shit post extension of a post higher up in the thread on the Sean Hannity thing.
It was just a repost.
The repost, but then we added a time that she's gonna be arrested tomorrow. It was just basically
so funny.
a fucking shit post, right?
Yeah,
but
and then the Mockingbird.
Yeah, and the Mockingbird shit, stupid. I mean, you can find that stuff in Wikipedia. So the whole point of those questions were at that same time, George Soros recently just invested a bunch of money into these, NGOs and stuff around the world. He was moving money, crazy, spooky stuff, Alex Jones type stuff. World War III is going to start, crazy times, right? So people are already talking about this shit. This isn't rocket science. This isn't a secret. It's fucking in the news. Just read the newspaper like a normal person if you can read, and then you'd see these stories. There's nothing amazing about it, right? So
you just follow the regular journalists and actually see into it. Well, I mean, it's like the juice. It's like the, what do you call it? Like Jason Goodman, George Webb, like those guys. Like when I first got jumped into this whole entire schlebacle, I'm gonna call it a schlebacle from now on. I just made that up. This whole entire situation since then has been so weird because like I feel like I keep on hitting the same like few characters, and like sure, like you're trolling them from different sides and different angles or whatever, but it doesn't make any sense that they're taking so much time or they're wasting so much time on all of this stuff, especially just for something that shouldn't be there. And it's like, how could you get like a video posted like that, and then like how do people like do the mental gymnastics to do that? And I mean, that's literally like programming. Like how can you be programmed so much that you don't even understand what you're talking about or what's going on with the situation? Like if you don't know, it's like if you don't know, you don't know what's going on with the situation.
And the thing is, this whole thing was it spiraled out of control. I mean, that's the thing. I would be okay with this if people knew that it was not somebody that's in the Trump campaign, because this is smearing Trump. And I don't work for Trump because you might think I'm Justin McConey, but I'm not.
Yeah,
sorry.
I know.
Sorry to break that to you. But anyway, the point is I don't work for Trump. I don't want this attached to Trump. I want people to get out and vote and do stuff. If this was a patriotic thing and less stupid, and also if they weren't attacking their own side like they're attacking Alex Jones, this is complete stupidity. Like this is I'm done with it. And I don't work for Alex Jones and I don't work for Jack, but I like those guys, and what they're doing and what they're trying to do by taking over is stupid, because this is not the style that's going to attract users or viewers like Alex Jones would, because Alex Jones, he walked a very fine line, and he still does, right? Where he can still attract a lot of users, but he never goes in this weird conspiracy shit that somehow he's flying on Air Force One and he's God, right? These people have no concept that their small group is turning into a Jonestown cult, and people see this and it's a fucking joke in Washington, D.C. And I know this firsthand experience. It is a laughing stock. People are laughing at this. Trump admin is laughing at this. This is considered to be an embarrassment. And it's funny at the same time, but I don't know if they have yet to see how much this is affecting the voters. But they'll see that in November if it's still around, right?
Yeah.
That's my take.
If it's still around in November, it's definitely going to affect the voting populace, and then effectively, like it could spur the base into the wrong way. Like everybody's saying that, oh, well, you got to go vote in November. If you don't go vote in November, the Democrats take over, and then we might actually have that, like situation that nobody wants to talk about happening. And, overall, if this whole entire base, this whole entire group of QAnoners doesn't, like they talk about being awakened and having a light on their hearts on fire or whatever. Well, if your hearts are on fire, then you should be ungluing yourself to the breadcrumbs, and you should be going out there and, like, working for somebody in one of these various fields, promoting one of these candidates and actually helping them out. Because if not, you're basically just wasting your time on your computer, which is
Exactly.
exactly what the Democrats want you to do. Because if you haven't realized yet, they're way better at digital activism and way better at on the ground activism than the Republicans have ever been. Although the QAnon thing has shown that, finally they're able to actually rip up some groundswell. The fact that it's a crazy conspiracy theory and they're utilizing it on it, they defeated themselves the second that they walked out on the court.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, hopefully, I hope there's a way that I mean, I would be okay with this if the QAnon folks decided to stop doing the stuff that they're somehow these Q intelligence cleared specialists. If they just came out and said we're just patriots like a normal person, and we want to do open source research, more power to them. Do it.
Oh, that's what
Just
they're
stop.
kind of saying now, but they don't want to accept the beginning.
Yep. They don't want to. They don't want to talk about what they've already told people and the lies that they've already spread, and that's dangerous because people are invested into this as if they're a savior, and QAnon's not a savior. He's just a dude, or he's actually a group of people on Discord and other chat apps that
Mm-hmm.
have YouTube channels, and they're very clever with how they're setting things up, and so. But a lot of this, there's a lot more drops to happen. Yeah, I've got to jump off
No worries,
the
man.
thing. But it's been good talking to you. I will. There's going to be more chat logs that will appear tomorrow, either with a news agency or me on Gab or somewhere else. But we'll just keep people posted, and these drops will keep happening every few days. All right.
Sounds good to me, man. Well, every few days I'll be ready. Thanks for getting
All right.
on with
Talk
me,
later.
man. Later, bro. Peace. Ooh, well, what was that? Oh, well, we just had a chat with Microchip on Discord. We want to clear a few things up with them because everybody's like, oh, it's this person. No, we need to take it away from that person because we might have been right the first time, too, weren't we? Yeah. How did we get all this stuff so good? I don't know.